Welcome back to episode 39 of On the Wild. I'm Riley Keenan. With me, as always, Anush Basker.
Yeah.
The NBA season is finally underway.
Mm-hmm. Some great games. Well, great matchups.
Great
that we had
matchups.
last night. The first game was not good.
No, it was
a runaway.
The Bucks came ready to play. They coming off the championship ceremony. You knew they were going to be ready to go. I was a bit surprised with the Nets, though. I thought after losing them in 7 games, knowing that they could have been the team to win it all, that they would come out a bit better in terms. I don't know.
They came out really flat. Like they didn't have any energy. Like I missed some of the second half, but in the first half when I was watching, there was times where Claxton and Harden, they just wouldn't get back on defense.
Yeah, they looked very tired.
They looked lethargic.
Yeah.
But Patty Mills though looks great.
Good. He looks really good.
7 for 7 from 3.
Yeah.
And then we had the second game. LeBron looks really good. He looks really good.
He looks like he's in the best shape of his life right now.
This is the best. This is the fastest I've seen him play, or been, since the year after Kyrie left.
Yeah.
And we all know what he did that year.
Yeah. It's crazy too, because like usually LeBron, like we've talked about this many times, like the first game he eases into it. It's a feeling out process. This looked like he's like, you know what? I need to show everyone I'm still.
Yeah, I need to make a statement to begin with, so people can stop talking about like, oh, he's washed. He's not the player he used to be. He is. He
is, but he's still top 3 in the league.
Yeah.
And you could put him 1 if you really want to. Like I wouldn't disagree with you, but after last night, I think Giannis to me is number 1. I'd put KD 2 and then LeBron 3.
Yeah.
But it's interchangeable, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, those are the top 3. I don't think anybody will dispute that.
Yeah.
But AD looked really good. I was
just going to say, he looked really good.
And the Russ thing, it's going to take time.
Yeah, like we knew he was going to be inefficient at times. Mm-hmm. I think the one thing going into this game that I was thinking was like they have so much space cleared out with because they build a team of shooters for the most part with those pickups for LeBron to be able to space out. AD usually gets on the perimeter a lot too. So I thought that lane's going to be open for Russ to get to the net. And it just didn't really look like he wanted it.
Because they started DeAndre Jordan, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been if they started a prototypical center along those 3. But it wasn't too bad. It's just they're still figuring out the rotation. Like I saw that when they played Rondo and Russ together, they were like a minus 15.
Yeah, those two shouldn't be playing together. They should be subbing for each other.
Yeah, but they're gonna figure it out eventually. Yeah. I think that if they made the Buddy Hield trade, because that was going to happen before the Russ trade, I think they would have won last night, because that would have been just a better fit and more of an immediate impact. But Russ, that whole fit has a higher ceiling, which is why they made it.
Like they're not going to be great right away, but we all know by the time the 82 games are done, they're going to be ready to go in the playoffs.
I'd say like December-ish, around Christmas is when you'll start to see them figure it out and really have like a set rotation. Yeah,
which is like totally understandable too. Like those 3 very ball dominant players, 2 of them that like to bring the ball up and one that is the primary scorer when you look at it. So it's tough to intermingle the 3. I would say it's even tougher than Brooklyn just because
100%.
You know, Kyrie's still he's going to take a step back a bit. You know that, and you know that Harden would facilitate with the Lakers. It's like I can't really see Russ taking a step back because he's already had to do it so many times in Houston, then in Washington now, where it's like, okay, I want to show that I'm one of the best that's ever done it.
Well, the reason Brooklyn helps so well or works so well is because KD doesn't necessarily need the ball.
Yeah.
And neither does the other 2 if you really think about it. They can catch and shoot.
Yeah.
So the fact that they could all shoot makes it easier. With Russ, he's not a good shooter. We all know that. And LeBron is good, but he's not great. He was great last night.
Yeah. I think that game also like came down to just the depth. Like it just showed that the Warriors were a team that's ready to go right now. Yeah. And like they don't even have Clay yet. And we know like possibly December, January is when he's coming back. But Curry didn't look great out there. He shot like 5 for 21, something like that. Yeah, he had a triple-double, which was extremely impressive. But he didn't come out playing that well. So guys had to – it was the next man up mentality. Jordan Poole putting up 20.
Jordan Poole.
Wiggins didn't even have that great of a game, but it was still enough.
He hit a big 3 with like a minute left.
Yeah.
Jordan Poole, Damian Lee played well. Naman Bjelica.
Yeah, like 15, I think.
Yeah, he was honestly the guy that took over the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
With his not only his scoring, but with his pass as well.
Mm-hmm.
His passes.
And like you said with the Lakers, like they're going to figure it out over time, like the way they're going to work in the rotation. But the way they did it, I thought it was really weird. I can't remember who it was. Avery Bradley. Like it took for a while for them to bring him in the game, and they needed some of that perimeter defense.
He looked good though.
Yeah, he was hitting his shots.
Some good defense. He hit 2 threes. I want them to incorporate Malik Monk a little bit more, though.
I agree. I thought they were going to start him over Bazemore.
But Basemore's not even bad. Like
he's not bad at all. But I'm starting in that lineup.
I think it's because Monk is a better like all around player. So bringing him off the bench will give him more.
Yeah, that's true. He would. Is it Carmelo? That's their sixth man, I guess. But I feel like Carmelo's going to be starting by.
No, they're going to bring Melo off the bench.
You think
just because he's more ball dominant.
I just feel like at some point, like it's going to be AD at the 5, LeBron at the 4, and then you could put Melo in there. But
that's going to be their closing lineup. I think their closing lineup's going to be Russ, Monk, Melo, LeBron, and AD.
Yeah, I could also see Nunn in there some games.
Nunn didn't even play last night. I forgot about him.
Yeah, like I thought he would be above Rondo in the rotation in terms of coming in as a point guard. But
Rondo will be really useful come the playoffs.
Yeah. He's going to, they already have so much leadership, but his leadership role is actually going to help. Like, I feel like basketball's a bit different from hockey. Like, they always talk about hockey as like, oh, let's bring Joe Thornton in here for some veteran leadership. It doesn't really mean as much on a hockey team. In a basketball team where it's a tight group of guys, you're playing on the same people on the court every day in practice. Like, it actually helps a lot more to have that presence.
Yeah.
But, yeah, also, like, going back to the Bucks Nets game, like, Claxton, I felt so bad for him. Like, he is a good interior defender, but he was getting bullied, and it just looked bad. And like you said, they looked tired. Like they were.
I don't know how it was the first game of the year.
I know, and there was a lot of talk about how good the Nets' offensive transition was, but in turn, their defensive transition was horrible. They couldn't get back. They were pretty lackadaisical out there. Yeah. I think it'll grow with time. I think like Harden and Durant are going to figure it out.
Yeah, there's nothing to worry about with any of these teams. We know what they're going to be at some point.
Yeah,
it's the opening night. People like to overreact to it, but it means nothing.
Every year, these massively hyped games, and you're thinking it's going to be extremely close. One team's going to come out ready, and one's going to struggle a little bit and have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's just the way basketball is. You're not going to be great right away. Everyone knows who those top teams are going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Moving on to what you wanted to talk about the 75 the All-NBA.
So yeah, they're unrolling the top 75 NBA players of all time. So I thought, obviously a lot of people love to give their top 5 and their top 10s. I thought I'd give a little spin on it. If you were to be coaching a team and you were to make a starting lineup of the greatest players of all time, what would your starting lineup look like?
I'd put LeBron at point guard because I think he's more explosive than Magic Johnson would be. And if you say he's a small forward, I don't care. Like I'm putting him at point guard.
It's your lineup. It's your team.
Shooting guard, you can't really not pick Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Despite him and LeBron I guess it would be a good fit.
Mm-hmm.
And small forward, I don't know. Because I want to say because I want shooting.
KD. Oh, Bird.
I'd say KD. Yeah, KD.
KD.
And power forward, again, I want shooting, but I'm not gonna not pick Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
And then center. Nah.
You strike me as a Shaq guy.
I am a Shaq guy. But I'm gonna go Shaq.
Shaq. Me, that first one threw me off a bit because I was pretty concrete with LeBron at the 3, but now I'm thinking about him at the 1. But I'm gonna stick with Magic at the 1 here because I think whoever he's defending, it's gonna be a rough night for that guy. At the 2, obviously Michael Jordan's a easy pick. I'd probably go with LeBron at the 3. At the 4, I was initially gonna go with Duncan, and I feel like that's the only answer. But at the same time, I feel like it would be really cool to have KD in there. I'm going to stick with Duncan because you don't need KD if you got LeBron.
No, I don't care. I'm changing mine. LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, KD, Shaq.
Wow.
I don't care.
That's a team.
I don't care.
That is a team. I'm okay.
I'm a spacing type of person. I like spacing. Especially with Duncan and Shaq, it would have worked in the 90s, but I'm talking about today's game. I think KD and Shaq would be insane as your front court.
I'll have I have Magic, Jordan, Bron. I'll go with Duncan at the 4 because that's just an easy choice. At my 5, I'm going Hakeem. I like Hakeem. His footwork is better than probably anybody in the league. Defensively, he's going to be absolutely shut down. Offensively, you know what you're going to get from the guy. And I feel like Duncan and Elijah at the 4-5 is just lethal.
I feel like any of Shaq, Hakeem, Wilt, Kareem.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, Bill Russell.
Any of those guys are fine.
You can't really go wrong.
Yeah, for me, I just don't. I for that team, if I already have Jordan, I have LeBron, and I have Duncan who's going to get some touches. You probably don't need a guy like or not Hakeem, Kareem. Those guys always mix me up. But yeah, you don't need a guy like Kareem in there. I'd say he's the number one center ever. But,
Kareem?
Yeah.
He's the most, yeah.
But I don't think he's the one I would take on my team. Because I don't know. It is interesting because, like, you talk about the guys like Kareem as the greats, but he did need, like, an Oscar to win it, and then he needed that magic. And they talk about a guy like Giannis, how he needs someone else. And then when he finally got it, he won too. So, like,
yeah.
All these guys, they need those supporting casts. There's no one ever out there that just did it themselves.
Yeah.
And you could say Hakeem, but he still had, I think he had Drexler that second year, right?
I don't remember.
Yeah. I saw a trade today, popped on my phone. It was, I don't know how it worked out, but it was Portland getting the second overall pick in 84 and getting Drexler. Or Houston gets them from Portland. So they would have the first two picks. They would have
Hakeem and Michael Jordan.
They would have got Hakeem, Jordan.
They were going to trade. I watched a video on this one time. They were going to trade Ralph Sampson.
Yeah.
Ralph Sampson.
For the second and
pick.
Clyde.
Yeah.
So they're, like, they wouldn't have had Smith there yet, but it would have been Jordan, Drexler, Hakeem. And you fill it out whatever way you want. That team would have been insane. Obviously, you kind of have the same discussion we had last week. Like, Jordan would have never filled into the player he once
he did become. Not to the same
extent. That's what I mean. Like, he would have always been, I think he would have been the greatest, but he still wouldn't have been like, okay, he had 73 in a playoff, or 61?
63.
63, yeah. 63 in one playoff game. Like, you wouldn't be getting those numbers from the guy because he'd have a lot more options. Mm-hmm. But he would still have an unreal career. And he probably would have won more titles because that team is insane. That's one of those combos, Jordan Olajuwon. I feel like that's one of the best you could ever have from a defensive standpoint and from just a footwork and adapting to place. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. I don't think Jordan would have had 5 MVPs or anything like that.
No.
But, yeah, they would have won, like, 8 or 9.
Yeah. Because I still think, like, if Jordan didn't retire those 2 years, it would have been Bulls-Rockets, and I think the Rockets would have taken it the first year because the Bulls just didn't have an answer for Olajuwon, and then the second year they would have figured it out and been like, okay, this is what we need to do.
I don't know how they would have figured it out, though.
That's the thing. It would just have to be, like, switching and help defense, and then Jordan being like, all right, I'm Michael Jordan, I'm going to finish this off. It would have been a tough series either way, but I feel like that's, like, one of the big what-if questions, and, like, I don't know the answer, but I just feel like it would have been, like, a one-on-one kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But the two of them together, like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Obviously we never grew up in that era, so it's tough when that's why I wanted to initially do, like, a top 5, but I think we need to do a little more research just because we never really got to see the guys play. Like, I always talk about, like, Olajuwon, he's one of my favorite players. I never saw him play besides, like, highlights.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's my list at least.
I feel like highlights, I don't like highlights because then you just don't get to actually see them play. You just see their best plays.
Yeah, you see the best play of that game or whatever. You don't actually, like, that's why I like seeing like when Shaq goes up against Dwight Howard for, like, the first time. It's actually cool seeing, like, how did Dwight Howard really fare against Shaq in his first attempt. Like, you see him going through the motions, getting a big block, and then feeling more confident. Mm-hmm. That's when you really start to see how a player is besides, like, that, like you said, highlights.
Yeah. Like, you see, like, Shaq, like, going back to Shaq, like, you see his best plays, but you don't actually get to see a full game of him when he was in LA, dominating on a play-to-play basis. You just see, like, the dunks and all that.
Because I always, like, we never really see it in our era. Like, Nikola Jokic was the first center to win MVP since 2000. Like, we haven't really seen a dominant center that's just, like...
On Dwight.
With Dwight a bit, but, like, there wasn't that long, and we were also pretty young when it was happening. But, like...
Yeah, we were pretty young, but it was, like, a 3 or 4 year span.
Yeah, like, 2009 to, like, 2012?
2007 to 11.
11? Yeah, before he went to
his last like 4 or 5 years in Orlando.
Yeah.
Before he went to LA.
Yeah. And, like, I loved watching, like, games back then when you just see a center. Like, you knew they were going to the big guy down low. He was going to make a big move and then get the bucket. Nowadays, it's like a guy's just shooting up a three. You don't even
I was actually thinking about this the other day. That 09, or like last week, that 09 Magic team was so ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was literally a 4 out, 1 in. I was about to call him Shaq. Dwight Howard surrounded with 4 shooters.
4 shooters, yeah.
Jameer Nelson, J.J. Redick, Turkoglu, Rashard Lewis. So many shooters.
Yeah.
Just all around him. And it's so ahead of its time, and people don't talk about them enough.
Yeah.
Like, they went to the finals that year. They lost 5 to L.A. in a closer series than what you would think. Mm-hmm. Like, it was 5 games, but every game was close. That team was really good.
Yeah.
And you had Dwight Howard in his absolute prime.
He went through Cleveland and Boston, right?
Like, yeah, at Boston, Kevin Garnett was hurt in that series, so they were shorthanded. True. But yeah, they beat Cleveland, who was the number 1 seed. They had LeBron, obviously, and they responded to. Remember the shot he hit in game? I forget it was game 1 or I think it was game 2.
Game 2, because it was to tie the series, I think.
No, I think Orlando was up 1-0, and he hit the shot in game 2.
Yeah, to tie it.
Yeah, to tie the series. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they responded from that and beat him in 6 games. And Dwight Howard went off in that series.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I loved that team as a kid. I love Jameer Nelson. Jameer Nelson is one of my, favorite players as a kid.
Really?
Yeah. It was LeBron, Dwight, Jameer Nelson. Those are my top 3.
Mine was KD, Curry, and Jose Calderon.
Yeah.
Love that guy. But yeah, that team was wicked. One of the things is Dwight Howard. I wish he never went to the Lakers because I would have loved to just see how his career played out. He was one of those guys that was always so fun to watch. I remember seeing him on Sweet Life on Deck with Kevin Love and Darren Williams. Those 3 guys, it was these are the up and comers. They're big players. And then all 3 of them went to a different team, and their careers kind of dwindled a bit.
Mm-hmm. I watched a video that he never actually wanted to leave Orlando. It was more of them building around him after the 2009 season.
Really?
And then just never did.
Which I don't understand how you don't do that. How do you not build around a guy like that?
I may be missing some details, but that was pretty much the premise of why he wanted out.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think because you see guys like Dwight and LeBron, they left because they couldn't figure it out. They couldn't build a team around them to help, have that supporting cast. And then you got a guy like Kevin Durant who has everything you could ever ask for and still leave.
Yeah.
So it kind of puts into perspective. As much as Kevin Durant is one of my favorite players, I still will never get that move.
I get leaving Oklahoma City. I just never understood why you would go to the team that beat you in the conference finals. Yeah, after you were up 3-1 against them.
Because not only is it the team that beat you, it's the team that beat the guy that you're going up against as the best player in the league.
Yeah.
It's a bad look, and it's from a legacy perspective, I get it because you get your title, but just earning that title, I feel it's just so
why not go to San Antonio? Team up with Kawhi, with Pop.
Because even then, that, looking back on it, that'd be wow, as if he did that. But in the moment, it's you're not thinking anything crazy about it. You're oh, that's a solid team. I mean, more than a solid team. They won, 65 games that year?
They would have went to the finals, for sure. They would have beaten Golden State.
Oh, yeah, Kawhi Pachulia, if you didn't step on Kawhi.
Yeah, they were up 20 in game 1.
Yeah.
But I just never understood why he went to Golden State. Because people compare it to LeBron, but if LeBron were to do the same thing that KD did, he would have went to Boston.
Yeah.
And just teamed up with them.
Mm-hmm. I don't agree that it's the same as LeBron. It's not. Going to Golden State is way worse. But I do understand the idea of it being kind of similar because, as much as people say, oh, Miami wasn't that good, you knew you were getting Bosh. You knew you were getting the Finals MVP in Wade. It's still similar. But
my only thing is that if you take LeBron and KD off those teams, that team with Wade and Bosh, I wouldn't say they're not even close to Boston.
No. They'd be a top 4 seed, but not.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go deep.
Yeah. Maybe they'd have a good series against Orlando.
Yeah.
But they'd be nowhere close to Boston. Whereas if you take KD off of Golden State, they already went to back-to-back finals, and they would be a contender going forward. So I just think it's unfair to compare the two.
Yeah. It kind of speaks volumes, too, because you take KD off the Warrior or the Thunder, they're still a great team. Well, not a great team. They're a good team.
They were a good team.
And then, take LeBron off any team he's ever been on. They've been horrible. You take him off the Cavaliers, they're no longer in the playoffs. You take him off the Heat, they're still no longer in the playoffs. And then even, you can think back to Jordan. When he was going off the Bulls, they were still a 2 or 3 seed. Still had a chance to make the conference finals the next year. So, it really does speak volumes to how valuable LeBron is to his team.
Yeah, he only has 4 MVPs. That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But moving on to football, we literally just saw something on our phones about Deshaun Watson and how he's most likely going to Miami very soon.
Yeah.
We've been hearing these rumors for months, so
if
it doesn't happen, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But it seems like now is the most likely it's ever been to actually happening.
It's crazy too because I remember when we first started doing the podcast, that was one of the things we talked about.
Was on the first episode, we were talking about where's Deshaun Watson going to go.
And I think we both said Miami.
I think I said 40. I said the Niners. Because this was before.
Oh yeah, before Lance, right?
Before the whole them trading up to get Lance.
Yeah, I think it was 49ers and Dolphins were the 2 teams we were looking at.
Yeah,
because they're perfect spots.
I'm trying to think of the thumbnail of the clip we posted. I'm pretty sure it was. San Francisco and Miami.
Yeah,
if I remember.
With Deshaun Watson in the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it looks like it's going to be a 3-team trade, too.
Yeah, I literally just saw it on Catch the Blitz. Shout out.
Yeah.
But Tua's going to Washington. 3-team trade with Washington. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're getting all the Alabama players that they can.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Alabama's great. But
feel bad for Heineke, though. He's doing a pretty good job.
He's like, yeah, he hasn't been bad.
Yeah.
But he's not your long-term answer.
No.
And I don't know if Tua is.
I don't think Tua is either.
I'd rather take the chance with Tua.
Go with the young guy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it should be an interesting trade. So, yeah, and then what would the Texans get back?
Probably like 3 firsts, maybe a couple seconds.
Really? That many? I feel like his value would be diminished just because of the track record.
People don't care.
Yeah.
Teams don't care, which is unfortunate. But
that is the
reality of it. And then Washington would get Tua, and then Miami would get Deshaun Watson. And then I'd assume Houston would get a player or two.
Yeah, they probably get something.
Maybe something from Washington.
Yeah.
Like a player.
Yeah.
I don't know who, though.
Yeah, like nothing. I mean, I wonder if Heineke would be on the move. Or if they just use him as a backup.
He'd be the backup, I assume.
Yeah, because, I mean, Mills has done a good enough job in Houston.
I don't remember if Fitzpatrick signed a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal with Washington.
I think it was a 1 year.
Okay, so you can get off of him. So Heineke would just be the backup.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Tua with players like Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin, guys who can take short routes and take it, for yards after catch. I think that's what he needs.
Yeah.
Because Tua doesn't have a super strong arm, and he hasn't gotten to the point yet where he's, like, stretching the field like that. So he kind of needs really good players around him who can kind of take his, dink and dunks. For more. Do
you think Houston would get Miami's pick this year? Because if so, that's a great return.
Well, I don't even think Miami has their pick this year.
Do they not?
Philadelphia has it.
Oh, wow, they do. Wow. That's going to be huge for Philadelphia. They're 1-5 right now.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I think Miami has, or Philadelphia has it. Because they have 3 first-round picks right now.
Mm-hmm.
They have their own, Miami, and Indianapolis because of the Wentz trade. Mm-hmm.
Both those are looking good right now. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Indianapolis, we both predicted them to win the division. I think they're going to finish well. I still think
they can.
I agree. I don't think Tennessee is as good as people think.
Tennessee just beat Buffalo, and Henry's insane.
Yeah. He's like, I want to say he's a generational talent, but I think it also comes with the amount he gets the ball, but he gets the ball that much because he produces.
I've never seen somebody his size run that fast.
Yeah.
Like that 76-yard run against Buffalo was the fastest speed the NFL has tracked this year.
Which is nuts. Like, I did not know he could run that fast.
And he's he's listed at 6'3", but he's bigger than 6'3".
Oh, yeah.
He's like...
he would be, if he was standing in front of me, he would be over me.
He looks like he's 6'5", 260.
Yeah. Guy's an animal.
So he's basically Cam Newton, but runs
faster.
Yeah.
And stronger.
Yeah.
Just better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy... Like, because I remember watching that divisional round game against Baltimore, was it, last year?
Wild card against Baltimore last year, they shut him down.
Yeah, he literally couldn't do anything. And I thought a lot of it was just maybe because of the offensive line, but he couldn't really get anything going.
Yeah.
But it just does seem like when he's got it ready, like when he's feeling it, he is better than anybody.
Yeah. He's the best running back in the NFL, and I don't think it's close right now.
No, it's not. Because people say, like, McCaffrey, but McCaffrey just simply can't stay healthy.
He has more yards after contract. He has more yards after contact than any other running back has yards.
Yeah, that's actually absurd.
I think he's at 587, and the next closest is, I think, 537.
I think it would be a lot closer if Kareem Hunt wasn't on Cleveland so that we could really see what Chubb can do. But either way, I think Henry's still leading. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Chubb got hurt anyway, so that...
Yeah. Speaking of that...
Everyone's hurt.
Yeah, the whole Browns offense is hurt.
Yeah. Baker... not only that, they're playing Thursday. They're playing tonight. No, tomorrow. They're playing tomorrow. They got no Baker.
2 days ago, technically.
Yeah, it's coming out Saturday. They got no Baker. They got no Hunt or Chubb.
Yeah.
OBJ's probably not playing. Landry hasn't played a single game yet.
No, he played.
He played week 1.
He got played a game and a half.
Touchdown. Yeah, he played. Yeah. And then... I mean, you got Wills and Conklin, I'm pretty sure, out. Denzel Ward might not play. Clowney's out with a laundry list of injuries.
He had shoulder, chest, and knee.
And then, not only that, you got Myles Garrett getting drug tested every day because he keeps getting more jacked.
Yeah, sleeveless Myles is retired.
Yeah, it's just bad. I'm not at all blaming the Browns' losses on injuries because they looked horrible against Arizona, and against the Chargers, it was simply just mistaken play calls. They could have won that game, but it looks really bad right now.
On my end, I'm cautiously optimistic of Atlanta, regardless of my rant a couple weeks ago.
They should be better than they are.
They should be 3-2.
Yeah.
And they play Miami this Sunday, which I think they're going to win.
And
which Miami got screwed over. They don't have a bye after the London game, which is foul.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Oh, by the way, Batman trailer.
So good.
So good.
I don't know if did you notice the thing? I didn't know until now that he's got a gun split in half as a
People
symbol.
think it's the gun that killed his parents.
Dude,
Batman looks like a psycho, like a madman.
No, there's a point in that trailer where he's punching a guy and Catwoman's looking at him like what is wrong with you?
It's Riddler. You could see his
oh my god. I love the fact that they actually showed that he's going to jail because I think he gets caught on purpose just so he can talk to Batman.
He's basically modeling himself after the Zodiac killer. That's what I watched a breakdown, and his whole character is based off the Zodiac killer.
This movie couldn't be any better for me because Batman's my favorite superhero, and then Joker is my favorite villain ever, and Zodiac is one of my favorite movies ever, and they're basically putting it together to do the villain. And it's Paul Dano, who's such a good actor as well.
It just looks like such a good movie. It's Batman in year 2, so he's still immature. He's gonna commit some crimes.
That there's the thing right away when he goes, it's not just a signal, it's a warning. That's him saying, if you're on the street and that signal's on, get home. Because I am going to I'm going to rock you.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's over.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, everything about that trailer was beautiful.
Oh, 100%. The one part where I was like, where he was like, what have you done?
Oh yeah, it was kind of cringe because the music was playing loud and then it just went dead silent.
Yeah,
that was kind of awkward.
That was the one part, but I mean, Catwoman, I think Zoe Kravitz is gonna do a really good job.
She's gonna kill it. She's so good.
And then you have who plays
the Penguin?
Yeah,
Colin Farrell.
You
wouldn't even know it's Colin Farrell either.
Yeah, that last shot of him upside down.
Oh my goodness. Batman does not look like a superhero in that moment. Also, the car coming out of the fire, it lands. Not only that, it then speed boosts into the other car so fast that it flips it over. I'm so excited to see that Batmobile. Because as much as I love Nolan's, just because it's so over the top and sick.
An army.
Yeah, this seems cool because it looks like a real car.
Yeah, I feel like this movie's gonna have more of a realistic tone than The Dark Knight even had. Yeah. And I feel like The Dark Knight was even grounded for a superhero movie. Looking
at Batman and then The Dark Knight and then The Batman, the difference between how grounded they all are is incredible.
I feel like Batman's the only superhero where you can actually do that. Maybe Iron Man too.
Iron Man, yeah, for sure.
But he's
and I think they did it too a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Spider-Man, they somehow grounded them. The first movie, the guy was a bird or a falcon or whatever he was. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, but I'm excited for this movie. I'm seeing it opening night. I don't care.
100%.
We're going to go see it opening night.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm going to be geeking. I remember us going to see Joker together, how excited we were.
Yeah.
Multiplied by 5.
Yeah, because I wasn't even that, hyped for Joker until, the day before I saw it. It's October.
Yeah.
I've been hyped about this movie for a year.
Dude, we saw the trailer when Game 1 of the NBA playoffs, Blazers versus Lakers.
Yeah.
And we didn't care about the game once we saw the trailer because we were like, oh my God, there's a Batman movie coming out?
Yeah. And it was supposed to come out this year. Now it got pushed back because of COVID, but I'm so excited.
It's going to be great. And the fact that they have, it seems like they have a good list of villains. Obviously, it's going to be the Riddler, the Penguin. But I feel like, there's possibly Court of Owls.
Two-Face, Court of Owls.
I think what they might do is I think they should establish Harvey Dent in this one, and then the next one have Two-Face.
Yeah, maybe the end of the movie is what turns him into Two-Face.
Yeah, that'd be nice. There's so much they can do. I also wonder, if they'll do kind of a Batman Begins thing when, Jeff Gordon gives the Joker card to Batman, and you're like, oh, that's the next one.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. Not the Joker, but maybe at the end of the movie, they have I think I said this in an earlier episode, but have shots of where every character is at the current time. So you have Batman, Gordon, Catwoman, Penguin, and then you have the last one be Harvey Dent. Yeah. And he's just in a hospital bed.
That'd be sick.
Not to rip off of the Dark Knight but
do it.
You gotta do it somehow.
Yeah.
And the Court of Owls, which I still don't know much about. I just know it's the rich people in Gotham who kind of control.
Yeah, I thought the Court of Owls were initially the people he was attacking in that first trailer before he says on vengeance.
Yeah,
but I don't know who those guys are.
That's Penguin's crew.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Court of Owls are just like the higher ups of Gotham.
Yeah.
Which could be connected to his family. And then I saw like their executioner. His name's Talon, and like his forearm, like he has like stripes. I don't know what it is, but if you look at the Batman and his suit, it's the exact same.
Oh, really?
So he could be like their executioner currently.
Oh, that's sick.
So that's how he plays into the whole thing. Remember in the first trailer, it was like, you're a part of this too?
Yeah. How am I a part of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be how.
You can kind of see that leading into this next trailer too. There's a scene, like it's a very quick shot, but it's like of Robert Pattinson not in the costume, but like looking around his room, and there's like 4 arrows. One's like the sins of my father, I think. I don't know what the other 3 are, but he clearly is
it was like
acknowledging.
The people he killed. I forget their names, but there was like 2 people's names who he will kill in the movie, and then not Batman, Riddler.
Oh, okay.
But then there's like another one, but
yeah, it seems like there's a lot of
so good. It's gonna be like 3 hours.
It's gonna be great.
I'm down.
It's gonna be so good. The amount of snacks I'm bringing into that theater, like. I will be looking forward to that day for so long.
What is it, March 2nd or March 4th?
I thought it was March 24th.
I love how we don't even know.
Yeah, that's so brutal. It's got a 4 in there. That's all I know.
Yeah, I just know it comes out in March, and I'm excited.
I'm so pumped.
The amount of times I've said excited in the last 2 minutes.
I think we've brought up this Batman 4 episodes in a row.
Maybe,
but it's because they keep rolling out new things, and it keeps on getting more and more exciting.
We're sorry. We're just so excited.
Fanboying. I'm sorry. We're not even that big into superheroes, but like Batman is just on a different level.
Yeah, Batman's like the only one where I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. We grew up on Batman.
Yeah.
If they made a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and it was legit, I would be fired up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I literally grew up on Batman.
Yeah.
All the animated series and all that.
The video games too, like Arkham.
Yeah. Arkham City, Arkham Asylum. We're playing that with Lyndon, who we had on like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Played it with him, but yeah, those are great games too.
Mm-hmm. I'm also seeing Dune this Saturday. Oh my goodness! Like
you were telling me about that.
I am so excited. This apparently like it's like the next Star Wars kind of thing, like Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Which like growing up, I've never been those kind of guys. Like I'm still not fully, but like I can see the appeal, and the cast looks crazy. Mm-hmm. Visually, it looks incredible. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be my favorite movie ever by the time I come back on. Who knows?
I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below, and we'll see y'all next week. Take it easy.
Stay well.
Peace.